Alright, this is Vegeta8259 again, and today I'm going to be doing another re-review, and this time I'm going to be re-reviewing the 1/100 scale, no grade Gundam Dynamis from Gundam 00, obviously. And the reason I'm re-reviewing this is simply because the picture quality on my first review was absolutely horrible. So, with that, I'm re-reviewing this guy. So anyway, I have painted this kit. So I went with the same color scheme that Dynamis has out of the box. I just used some slightly different colors, whereas originally Dynamis has like a very bright, almost kind of a forest green. I went and used kind of a more muted, almost like an army green. Not quite army green, but definitely a lot more toned down than the brighter green that comes out of the box. And then the white parts I just left white. For all the gray parts that were used for the inner frame and the hands, well, not inner frame, the joints and the hands and the various things like the GN pistol case here, I just did in a kind of a steel silverish color. Then the yellow parts and the red parts are just plain yellow and red. Let's see. You also get a few clear parts, not as many as like Exia or Arios. Just one on each forearm, the GN condensers there. One in the center of the chest, up under this green part for the GN drive. Clear part for the eyes and the forehead camera, which is behind the VFin actually. And I believe that's it for clear parts. And then you get some of these purple rubbery parts for the whatever those are called, GN something. GN cables, GN something, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Oh, forgot, you also get clear pink for the GN Sabers. Let's see. I guess we can go ahead and do articulation. The head will go up and down. It's on a ball joint hinge combo. There's a ball joint in the head, which lets it go up and down, side to side a little bit, and rotate 360. Want to be careful, the chin tends to hit these things on the side. And then there's a hinge which lets it go back and forth a little bit more, so you can get a little bit of the chicken head action, as Too Old for Toys has coined it. These little yellow fins on the side can go up and down. The shoulders are on a double, actually it might even be a triple joint. But these two side parts where you see the chest vents, that whole piece can come forward on both sides. So they can move independently. They don't really go backwards at all. They don't go up or down either. But there is a joint for the shoulder that lets the shoulder go up and down like so. And that one doesn't move back and forth at all. But the arms can obviously go 360. Then the arms can come out about that far, go even further up when you move the shoulder armor. There's rotation below the shoulder. You get double jointed elbows. Unfortunately, they're only going to bend, if I can get this shield out of the way, only going to bend about that far, which, seeing as how there's not really any armor in the way, I found that kind of disappointing. Notice the purple GN thingy on the back of the elbow. Let's see, the hands are on a ball joint so they can rotate and wiggle. And being a 1/100 scale no grade, the hands don't move. They're pretty much just like high grade hands. I forgot to mention these parts of the GN shield can move up and down as well, but I'll really get into that when I go over weapons and accessories. The waist is on a polycap, just a big peg, but it actually has some side to side movement. No forward and back movement, but it does rotate 360, as long as you're careful with it, just not to let the parts bump up against each other. Anyway, the thrusters on the back skirt are on pegs, so they can go up and down, and they go side to side a little bit as well. You'll also see the beam sabers, or I'm sorry, GN sabers, back here. It looks like there's a hinge there, but it's actually not. That's actually going to be green plastic. I just painted it gray, but anyway, I'll get into that later. The front skirts are on ball joints, and they can actually come all the way up and they can move around and wiggle. There are no side skirts, as with a lot of 00 kits. The hips are on a ball joint, which means the legs can go up about that far. They can go back until they hit the thrusters, and they can go in and out just a little bit. The knees are double jointed, and you can get pretty much a full 180-degree bend. Not completely 180, but just as good. Anyway, let's see. Those open, but again, I'll get to that later. The ankles are on a double joint. There's a hinge joint, which lets them move back and forth, and then there's a ball joint down at the foot, which lets them move side to side and rotate 360. And there's a hinge inside the foot, which lets it bend up just a little bit, not much, and lets it bend down. And this little piece of armor can go up and down and actually rotate, although I can't imagine why you need to rotate it. Anyway, that about does it for articulation. For accessories, let's see, Dynamis comes with the standard GN shield, which you see here, and that's pretty much how Dynamis appeared in the first few episodes of Gundam 00. Shortly thereafter, he got a upgrade for the GN shield. All you have to do is take these off and mount them onto the back, and then you get these much larger GN shields, which peg into the side here. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just plug that into the back, plug the larger GN shield onto the side, and there we go. It obviously is going to hamper the arm articulation. As you can see, the arm can't come out quite as far. But then again, these shields do have a little bit of articulation of their own, meaning you can bring the arm out a little bit further. Let's see, they have a hinge up here, and you pull that out on both sides, meaning you can swing the GN shield around to the front, and Dynamis is pretty much completely shielded in the front view, except for his crotch and his head, which to me seem like two pretty important parts, but either way. Then you can fold these out, where Dynamis can use the GN pistols. I'll show you those in a minute. And there's also a extra little bit of articulation down here at the very bottom as well. So anyway, let me swing these back out, and we'll move on. Get them to straighten up and stand still. Also, one little bit of articulation here. The V-fin can come down. If you just kind of wiggle it loose and then pull it down, it exposes the forehead camera. For usually Dynamis just does that whenever he's taking a really long distance shot with a sniper rifle. And then you just pull that back up and put the V-fin back in place. One thing I forgot to mention earlier in the review is that all these decals all over the kit that you see, I got from Samuel Decal. It was a decal set specifically made for Gundam Dynamis here. And I just thought it looked nice, and I went ahead and bought the decal sets for all of the 00 1/100 scale no grades, just because I'm a decal buff, kind of like Katoki. That's why I like Katoki's kit so much. But anyway, I really like the decal scheme that Samuel made up for Dynamis here, and I think it works pretty nicely. Like I mentioned earlier, there are beam sabers, or GN sabers, excuse me. You do get 2 blades in clear pink. You do get 2 handles, and unfortunately they're not on any sort of hinge, and you really just kind of pop them. As you can see, there's like a little cavity there, and you really just kind of push them in there. They're really easy to put in, but they are really hard to get back out. In fact, I had, before I did this review, I had to get a flathead screwdriver to pry that GN saber out of there, just so I could show it off for the review. So, anyway, Let's see, next up, I guess, will be the GN pistols. They are on these little cases on the side of Dynamis' leg. Pull that out and open it up. Actually, I think they're supposed to be attached at the top here. And then Dynamis can just reach down, pull them out. And they are pretty simple. I think it's just two halves that you snap together. But they're pretty nice looking little effective pistols. And they fit nicely in the hand. You can just slide it in the hand without having to take the hand apart, which I always appreciate. It's just easier, and I'm lazy. Let's see, he does have another one on this side, but I won't put it in this hand because the next weapon is the GN sniper rifle. Dynamis' signature weapon, because he is the man who can stripe beyond the stratosphere. Anyway, it's pretty much all gray. I've obviously painted it silver. You do get a clear part right here for the scope. This handle right here can move up and down. And you do get two little struts right here that can come out if you want to have Dynamis laying down doing a sniping pose over a hill or something. And you can take these off, and you get two extended ones you can snap on to raise the sniper rifle up a little bit higher. Again, those can just fold up into place. And to have Dynamis hold these, you plug it into his hand. Again, it pretty much just slides in. And then this back part is on a ball joint. Actually, is it a... no, it's just a peg. I can't tell. Maybe it is a ball joint. Either way, it's on a joint, and you just plug it into his arm. And because it is on a joint, even when it's plugged in, you still have a little bit of mobility there. So that's a good thing, I believe. The last accessory that Dynamis comes with is an extra hand. Let me just take this off. So we get an extra left hand, which is in kind of a cradling position, which is going to be very useful for a two-handed pose with the GN sniper rifle. So, I guess that's about it for the actually not high grade, 1 to 100 scale no grade Dynamis. I actually really like this kit. I like 1 to 100 scale no grades in general. Especially the ones from 00. They were all really good in my opinion. Exia, I have all of them. Exia, Dynamis, Curios, Virtue, and then all 4 from Season 2. And these are really nice model kits. As far as like the outside detail, they're pretty much master grade quality. The only thing that a master grade has on these is that these don't have an inner frame. But other than that, they are very nice model kits, and I really appreciate them being in 1 to 100 scale. Unfortunately, it seems like these days Bandai is kind of giving up on the 1 to 100 scale no grades, which I found unfortunate. But anyway, that's a topic for another video. So anyway, I guess that about ends the review of the 1 to 100 scale Dynamis, and I will see you guys next time.